What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel for another ball review. Today we're looking at the new release by Storm, the new IQ Tour 78U urethane version of the IQ series. Remember, this ball is 78 hardness, and this is for the PBA rule change that's taking place January 6th for next season. This past season I didn't really use urethane on the PBA 50 Tour, but going forward, if I am going to, this is the ball I'm going to have to use. So I decided to get the ball and test it out to see if my low rev rate capabilities will translate into more strikes on the lanes. Some of the places we go to have really bad surfaces, and we ball in the shorter oil pattern, so this wasn't an option for me last year, but this year it might be. So I wanted to have it in the bag as an option so I don't feel like I'm out on a limb here. So today we're here at Pin Chasers Veterans. I really appreciate them letting me come out here and do my ball videos along with my coaching and practice here so I can get ready in tip-top shape for the PBA 50 Tour. I'm bowling on the regular house shot. I came here in the afternoon, so I'm not really sure how fresh the house shot is, but it's urethane, so who really cares? We're just going to see how the balls translate into throwing them down the lane on a house shot compared to on a pattern. All right, so how did I drill the ball? I drilled the IQ Tour 78U with a higher pin buffer. We went 4x4 by 1.5 VLS layout. I did watch Darren Tang's video where he kind of suggested for lower rev rate players like myself to use higher pin buffers, where some guys actually use 0. That way the balls will start up a lot earlier, and with this harder urethane cover, I really need my ball to want to read through the oil when I'm bowling on short patterns or more volume. So I went with a higher pin placement. Today I'll be comparing that to a ball I haven't thrown in years, a pitch black, and I drilled that ball really similar to it. I drilled it 4x4 by 1 VLS layout. This is even higher pin buffer because that ball has a weaker core than the IQ core that's in the IQ Tour 78U. So I'm just gonna get ready, throw some shots, and we'll just see what goes on. All right, so since I do not use urethane on house and we're bowling on a house pattern, I am going to be starting to the right, very far to the right. I have a lower rev rate, so this is where the most friction is, and that's where I want to see the ball hook the most. And let's go. Let's see what's going on. Not bad. It's not really used to throwing urethane because of how early it is. I really throw a lot of the ASIMs and the higher symmetricals that are in the line, the stronger ones I should say, really don't deviate from the lower balls in the line. But I'm going to see if I can throw a better shot. It was not bad. The surface on this ball is out of box. I've thrown about 3 or 4 games with it just to let it shine up to see, and then we're going to scratch it here as I go along. The ball really picks up early, and it's really it's a little quicker off the end of the pattern than the pitch black, but we'll showcase that in a minute. Like I said, not really used to throwing urethane, timing's late, so let me try to throw a better shot. With urethane, you really want to get all the oil off the ball, that way it rolls the same way each time. Some of the other balls, the reactive balls, they're strong enough where the oil soaks in enough where you don't really have to wipe it off if you don't want to, but I recommend that you do. Oh, let me get some pins. You can see in the video it is shining up a little bit. Like I said, we don't have a lot of volume here, so it's not going to be like some of the other pictures you see, guys, where they've showed you how much it flares. It does flare a lot, like 4 or 5 inches, which is really good for me if I'm going to use the urethane option. See if I throw a better one here. I'm trying to throw it so good for you guys. Last 2 weren't physically that great. Kind of like that. I know I don't have the ideal release for urethane. I am a little bit more around it, but with this urethane option with a stronger core, it really does help me for the way I throw it. Been working on trying to get underneath the ball for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now. I'm a little bit older. Sometimes it just doesn't relate. I'm really liking how this is earlier and more responsive down lane off the dry. It's like a lot quicker than I would expect for a urethane ball. Urethane balls are usually really smooth, and this one is smooth, but it's just a little faster, more continuous, I should say, off the dry on this house shot. Yeah, I'm not as far right as I would like. I'm really trying to basically bounce it off the gutter, but I'm still working on that part of my game. Used to be very good at it. Now as the ball's gotten strong and I've gotten older, I'm just not as comfortable playing that far right anymore. All right, one more shot and then we'll switch over to pitch black. That way I can show you the difference in that one, where that one's gonna be earlier and really a lot slower down lane than this IQ Tour 78U. And that's urethane right there, see? Threw it a little bit to the right in the front because I've been drifting, and it rolled early and it slowed down and stopped. Really didn't have that continuation like the last couple shots. All right, I'm gonna throw the pitch black so I can show you the difference. I know the camera angle's a little odd today. because I am playing so far right, and the way they have the seating here, it's just kind of hard with places to put the camera. And hopefully I'm getting out of the way so you can see the ball roll. Same spot, not moving. Gonna still throw the same shots in the same spot because so I can detail the difference between these two. And again, same thing. Drifting left, coming around and throwing it right. It's just really slow. So it's time to maybe let me throw a better one. I'm really glad that I got these two balls because now I could really find out that this was a weakness in my game this past year. I didn't think it was. I play a lot straighter. I try to on patterns anyway, but I could tell that from doing all the big bowling balls and how aggressive they were, my approach has just gotten a little wonky. It's not as straight as I'd like, so I'm going to have these two urethane balls where I can practice and just get sharper at playing a lot straighter. The pitch black is out of box as well, the 1000 that it comes with, and it's shining up as well. Have about the same amount of games, three games on both, more than 4 now. Try not to drift this time. That was a little more, still throwing it out to the right, and see, then it doesn't. All right, I'm gonna take a second here, I'm gonna scratch the balls up, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I scratched both balls up with 500 grit, fresh 500 pad. Before I analyze, we're gonna throw a couple shots, let some oil get in the cover. We'll say though, that ball does hit hard, even though it has 500 grit on it. It goes through the pins pretty good for me. All right, one more shot with the 500 grit. Get a little more oil in it. And flat 10. See, there you go. Scratched it up a little bit, starting to pick up early. Let me throw the pitch black a couple times to get more oil in that one. See, you can see it, hopefully you can see it. Looks like chalk. All right, couple shots. All right, the second shot with the pitch black after 500 grit. That's a bad one. That's what I'm talking about. All right, go back to the IQ 78U. Both of them have 500 grit and 2 shots, and we'll see what the difference that makes. Now, being a lower rev player, and when I'm using this on shorter patterns, 500 grit is probably what I'm going to be using most of the time. I'm probably not going to use 1000 because I really want both these balls to hook as early as possible, and then get through all that volume of oil that's going to be in the front on shorter patterns, and then actually have some continuation on the back end. And if I go less than 500, that's probably going to be a little too early for me, especially for me. All right, here we go. Back to where I was after 500 grit, scratching it up, but hopefully I can throw better. Still drifting a little bit with my shots. Trying to be out of the way of the camera so you can see it. All right, here we go. Wow. That was way earlier than the last couple. Last couple at least pushed through the front. That one was hooking early, and I threw it bad. Going to be a lot of practice with this. Like I said, guys around country showed you with oil rings. There's really no oil rings on mine. You can see where the track is, but there's no volume of oil on it. It's on the ball, but not building up. Could be because of my rev rate, lower rev rate, so I usually don't have a lot of oil on the oil rings. Move a couple right. All right, here we go. See if I can throw one more time, and then I'll switch to the pitch black. Wow, that was better. Even though I was a little left on that one, I threw it left to right and hit 5 at the arrows. It really skidded through there and picked up like really early after the arrows, but it still had that continuation down lane. I stumbled to that. It still had that continuation down lane that I like to see if I'm using urethane. All right, let me throw the pitch black a couple times. All right, so if the IQ Tour 70U was early, this should be just as early, but be smoother down lane rather than quicker. But we will see. Oof. Yeah, not a good shot. Came around it a lot. Really gonna have to practice on this, getting my hand out of the ball a lot quicker. I'm trying to make the ball hook instead of just rolling it. Part of the reason I didn't have urethane in the bag was I was really not sure what type of layouts to put on them for my rev rate category. So like I said, I mentioned earlier with Darren, we mentioned the higher pin buffers. I decided with the IQ Tour 78 coming out, I really wanted to test it out, and I'm really liking what I see, so I know if we do have urethane type of bowling balls coming out in the future, I'm going to use higher pin buffers the way they start up early and have some reaction off the dry down lane. All right, one more time with the pitch black. See if I can throw it better. I'm really drifting. Really got to work on rolling it a lot straighter, being more behind it. And that's, yeah, see? Just using a lot of my arm, trying to make the ball hook, not really rolling it. Not really comfortable with that ball. I'm just not, I just don't use. So a little bit more with the IQ78U, we're gonna move a little left, see if it can make the ball shape a little bit. If I did move left, or like I was using it on a pattern. I think I did throw the Zen U and really didn't like that either. It was kind of early, kind of slow, kind of erratic, but that's not really true urethane. It's urethane plus, so it has more reactive in it. So didn't use that one very often either. And it had a UC3 as well, but that's not really urethane either. All right, here we go. There we go. Like that. Even though I'm still getting used to throwing it the right way, not drifting. Under it, around it, gave it a little shape. And actually, that one, instead of going really slow and going forward, that one actually continued all the way through the pocket and went through the pins really nice. All right, couple more and we'll wrap this up. All right, move a little left this time. More like a 3 and 2, but now I should be throwing it right where I was. Hopefully I throw it better. Oh, almost. No, messenger love, man. What is that crap? All right, so that was pretty good. I did 3 and 2 left. Ball still red through a little bit more oil because I moved left. Got in the mid lane, red was continuous. A little light in the pocket, but it did send pins flying. The way the ball is hitting the pins, and it's storing enough energy for urethane for me. That's part of the problem with the pitch black. It was so early and so slow that it never really stored enough energy to go through the pins the right way, and I would flat 10 or ring 10, then I would have to make adjustments, and then just too many adjustments to try to get it to shape right. That's why I really didn't have urethane in the bag. All right, one more time, and we'll wrap this sucker up. Digging it, man. I might have to get another one of these, drill it maybe a little weaker, just a little different, maybe just a flare a little less. Pin placement in the same spot, but maybe go like 4.5 or 5, well 4.5 on the second number for the mass bias if it had one. All right, one more time, and we're all done. Still, that was in between first and second arrow, and it still made it up the pocket. It wasn't as quick as the last one because I got it to the right, but it was nice and smooth and still knocked some pins around. All right, this is the clock out. We are done. One more time. I know I already said that once, but we're doing it again. I'm really liking this ball right now. Making good shots. Now that I move left. Oh, that's a bad one. Had somebody watching me. That was a bad one. Can't end on that. Somebody distracted me. All right, here it is. This is for all the marbles. Throw it good, have a good reaction, and here we go. Look at that. Look at that. Nice. Came underneath it. That one was slower too. Made up the pocket, threw some pins around. Hopefully you got to see that. I got it out of the way. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in on my ball review on the new Storm release, the IQ Tour 78U, which for the 78 hardness complies with the PBA rule standard change, which takes place January 6th. This ball will be released on December 15th, just in time for Christmas. Get that sucker underneath the old Christmas tree, man. Red bowling balls, green bowling balls, black bowling balls. It's Christmas time. Make sure you do that thing. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, man. Come on, I'm getting closer to 1,000. Old man, gray hair, throwing some shots. We need some 1,000 subscribers. Come on, baby. All right. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.